Hey y'all, I thought it was fitting to do this pillow talk confessions while I'm doing some laundry because I'm about to air some of my dirty laundry, honey. And hopefully this is a cautionary tale for some women and hopefully some men who may be struggling with some of the situations that this situation that I encountered. Um, about a week or so ago, I posted the question if where a man was dealing with two women. One he lied to and one he told the truth. And the question was, which one did he love? Well, it brought back a memory of a time where I was dealing with a man who was staying with me. After a short period of time, I was living by myself in a studio apartment where everything but my kitchen and my bathroom and closet were all in one room. And, at the time I was seeing him often. He ended up spending several nights, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I can give you a drawer. Only thing is, when it came time to do laundry, hey, see, dirty laundry, yeah. Anyway, when it came time to do laundry, we had to go to, a family member's house. He went to his parents. I went to my mom's. And on one occasion, I went with him to his parents' house. And, I was sitting there waiting for him to, get his laundry together and things of that nature. He put it in. And right before we were about to leave, he ended up getting a phone call. And I didn't think it was quite odd because, anyone who knows me knows I usually, have an association with people who partake in 420. So I'm thinking maybe that's what he was going out there to do, and he didn't want his parents to know, so he had to, step out. He gets back in from, whatever he was doing outside, and he seemed a little flustered. So I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, maybe it was a bad deal. Maybe he didn't get the amount that he wanted. I thought it was something to do with that. Well, it came time to leave, and he is looking around, and I'm thinking maybe because the way that we were in a suburban neighborhood that had like a street where you turn onto it, maybe he was looking around because he wanted to make sure people weren't speeding. Trying to rationalize something in my head, because I'm an overthinker. We proceed to drive off, and as we're coming out of the neighborhood and onto the main street, I noticed someone is kind of like coming a little bit too close to us, and I'm not necessarily sure why. I just really wasn't feeling it. And from there, we end up driving on the main road. And next thing you know, we're being almost ran off the road. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I wasn't putting two and two together in that moment until I'm like, we need to floor it and get away from this crazy heifer. Because I did realize it was a woman. And I remember telling him to go straight. We need to make this light. It started to turn yellow. And he decides that he wants to make a left turn. So we get caught at the light because of it. I don't remember if there was a car in front of us, which is why we couldn't go, but I just remember we stopped at a red light. And this is when I realized he didn't lock his door because this woman decided that she was going to exit her vehicle, come up to the vehicle we were in, and he was driving, which was my vehicle, and starts like hitting him, like calling him out his name and hitting him. That's when I realized, oh my God, he knows her. And I'm thinking to myself, like, Lord, please, Jesus, take the wheel. Something I need to figure out what's going on? Why is this woman doing this? Something in me was like, oh, girl, you need to snap into action. You need to that's your man, So I started hitting her, and she is not giving up. She is being very relentless, okay? And that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to call the police. Because first of all, I'm not about to fight no woman over no man. I got too much going on. And even though I was young, I don't believe in fighting a female over a man. Just how I was raised. I'm not doing that. She notices that I'm calling the police, so she leaves and gets back in her car. I'm thinking we're done with her, because the light ends up changing and we turn. And as we turn, he decides to pull over into the gas station. I guess, to get his bearings together, so I thought. Unfortunately for me, she was not done. She ends up pulling up behind us and is chasing him in our vehicle around a pump. It was a small gas station, so it's like maybe 1 or 2 pumps, but all I remember is us going around a pump and just in a circle. And I'm like, you need to pull the fuck over, because this is crazy and I'm not about to sit up here and die. So he pulls over off into a parking space. He hops out the car. She then is still in her car, chasing him around in a circle again. Unfortunately for me, this is still not over. So he ends up getting away from her, and she ends up deciding to pull off. And I have locked the door and rolled up the windows in the car that I'm in, and I'm still sitting in the passenger seat. I have him on one side, on the driver's side, asking me to roll down the window. And I have her on the passenger side asking me to roll down the window. And of course, me being the woman that I am, I roll down her window because I want to hear what she has to say. Because I am no fool, and I know that a woman will not act irrationally without a reason. And I know that as a woman, whether we have a rational frame of mind or not, at our core, we are passionate beings. So if you invoke rage, anger, jealousy in us, we may react. And that's what I felt like she was doing. So I just wanted to hear her out, because at the end of the day, women just want to be heard. So I listened to her story, and she's going over with how she's taking care of him. She was paying for his World of Warcraft subscription. She was giving him money. And as a single mother, she was just really in love with him. And, she knew of me. Now, she was trying to show me text messages where he was telling her that he loved her and things of that nature. And I felt for her, don't get me wrong. But I was on the tail end of all of this. And the time frame in which he was saying I love you and all of that was prior to me coming into the picture. And those messages were from a couple months prior to me even being on the scene. So I had to rationalize what was going on. And he was, of course, upset that I was listening to her, which let me believe that there was some truth to it. Plus the fact that she had let out that they were still talking to one another, and he would even go over to her house while I was at work. So that is the gist of that story. Um, but there's more information that I want to put out there, so that way when I pose the question, you have all of the details, so you know her side. You know that she's aware of me. You know that she's taking care of him and providing for him. Now, I was raised as a woman that if a man is to live with you, he needs to be paying his way. So he was paying very small bills, because if he left, I didn't want to be, put out in a financial situation where I'm not taking care of the majority of my responsibility. And he was getting my nails done. He was, buying me gifts, taking me out to eat. And now, looking back at it, I believe he was using her money to do so. He did have a part-time job, and he was going to school. So, I say all of this to say, based off of what you've heard, who do you think he had more feelings for? Because I won't say love, because that's just not the word I'm going to use. Which, in the story, which female? Me, the female that he was whining and dining and somewhat supporting, or the female he was getting the support from, who was providing for him? I would love to hear your feedback on that. Comment down below. Please like, share this, and subscribe. I think that this is going to be an interesting debate. Enjoy getting down in the comments with you to talk to you all about it. Have a nice day. Peace.